Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump talking about the Golden Dome, I believe. I'm going to play this clip and then I'm going to play the longer conversation. Let's go.
I am pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful. And now we have technology that's even far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles. All of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%.
All right, so let's see the full conversation. Just wanted to give you the gist of it so you understand exactly what they're talking about here. Let's see.
In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful. And now we have technology that's even far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles. All of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%, which is incredible when you think of it. You're shooting bullets out of the air. I'm also pleased to report that the one big, beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have probably, you're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed. This afternoon, I'm also announcing that I will appoint, very importantly, General Gutlein to lead the ambitious new effort as the direct reporting program manager for the Golden Dome. Very talented man, and I'm very honored to have been the one that helped or really created Space Force. Space Force has turned out to be a tremendous success. We were third in space, and now we're number one in space by a lot. It's not even close. And Mike is a 4-star Space Force general, the recipient of the Defense Distinguished Service Medal, one of the most respected people in the world having to do with defense. You know, we have offense and we have defense.
Yeah, Canada, you're invited. It's funny, the balls on the Canadian government to do what they were doing with their elbows up, and Trump is the real problem and Justin Trudeau didn't do anything. It's that dirty scoundrel Trump. And then to be like, you're building an Iron Dome? Can we Golden Dome? Can we have some of the Golden Dome too? And Trump's like, you mean you want us to cover you in the Golden Dome like you're some sort of state or something? Is that what you're saying? Like you're some big, beautiful state? I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about before, but is that what you mean? Like a state? You want to be like a state? Just like California, you want to be covered by the Golden Dome. Is that what you're saying? Say it to me if that's what you're saying. Yes, please, sir. Cover us like a state. Oh, okay. So after all this time, you do want to be like a state. Canada, man, it's so funny. So funny. Oh, man. But good. I mean, it needs to happen. The whole continent needs to be covered. Obviously, this is in preparation of Iran possibly doing something, China possibly doing something if tensions get too much, Russia as well, and anybody else who may be on the rise in power that we don't know about.
He's good at offense, too. And he has an unmatched background in missile warning technology and defense procurement. General Goodline also knows that we need to move fast. No one is more qualified for his job. And everybody, this was a universal acceptance of General Goodline. Everybody that knows him and knows everybody else has said there's only one man for the job. So I have a feeling we have the right guy. But now I'd like to invite Secretary Hegseth and the General to please say a few words and describe the system a little bit. And we appreciate you being here. The press has really been very fair over the last period of a couple of months. I don't know what happened to you. It was so much more exciting the other way. But you've been very, very fair. We have very high poll numbers, the highest we've ever had. And I think we're doing a great job. We had a tremendous trip to the Middle East, as you know. It was a really amazing trip. And now I came home, and this is the one I was really looking forward to this.
Hold on. Are you questioning the strength of the dome? Is that what's going on there, Smokestack? Are you questioning the strength of Donald Trump's dome? Is that what you're saying? So dome could withstand a nuke, it'll just bounce off of it? Yeah. Because it's America made, okay? Are you kidding me? Yeah, nuke's just going to bounce off. That's how it works. Return to sender. That's what it's going to be like. All right? How dare you question? No, I have no idea. That's actually a good question. Maybe it blows the nuke up in the sky and you see the craziest light show you've ever seen and you still get radiation sickness because no one can stop that. And then you die an even worse death than being vaporized by a nuke? Maybe that's how it goes. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. It's a solid question. But nobody's really using nukes. Yeah, that's the hope, that nobody uses nukes. I think in the case of a nuke, I think the way it works now with nukes, because so many places have them, if Russia, let's say, sends a nuke, and it's coming, and it's going to hit America, I think automatically a guy like this, or any president, just smashes the red button, and America just sends 7,000 nukes, because they got too many to even count. They just send 7,000. They obliterate everything. I think that's how it goes. If you come at the king, everybody gets it. I think that's how. I think that's what's going to happen. I got to be honest. You know what I mean? You send one over here, we send 7,000 to you, and when the smoke clears, we'll see who still has two eyes and two legs. You know? Or three eyes. However people look after something like this happens. Whatever people look like after. 4 fingers, 3, you know? Magic powers. You can fly now. You can understand dogs. Whatever happens, you know? That's best case scenario.
Day, because this is very important for the success and even survival of our country. It's a pretty evil world out there, so this is something that goes a long way toward the survival of this great country. And as I said, we'll be discussing Canada. They want to hook in and they want to see if they can be a part of it. It sort of makes sense. I guess that's what I was talking about from day one. You know, it just automatically makes sense. and it won't be very difficult to do, but they'll pay their fair share. Thank you very much, everybody. And Pete, go ahead.
Well, Mr. President, add this to the long and growing list of promises made and promises kept. Ultimately, this right here, the Golden Dome for America, is a game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans. Mr. President, you said we're going to secure our southern border and get 100% operational control after the previous administration allowed an invasion of people into our country. President Reagan 40 years ago cast the vision for it. The technology wasn't there. Now it is, and you're following through to say we will protect the homeland from cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles, drones, whether they're conventional or nuclear. It's not lost on me, sir, also that you had the vision to start the Space Force, and here we are when the others said we didn't need it. Here we are in the Oval Office with one of the leaders of the Space Force in General Gutlein leading the charge on putting in place a game-changing Golden Dome for America. So, sir, it's an honor to be a part of this bold initiative. We're going to get to work on it. We have been since you signed that executive order on January 27th. We've been fast forward on this. We're here on this day, and this is just one stop in delivering this defense of the homeland, which is something you've charged us with doing, and we'll keep going until it is complete, sir.
Thank you, Pete. Pete's done a great job, by the way. Thank you very much. General, please.
Mr. President, today is a great day for the nation as we double down on protection of the homeland. As you're aware, our adversaries have become very capable and very intent on holding the homeland at risk. While we have been focused on keeping the peace overseas, our adversaries have been quickly modernizing their nuclear forces, building out ballistic missiles capable of hosting multiple warheads, building out hypersonic missiles capable of attacking the United States within an hour and traveling at 6,000 miles an hour, building cruise missiles that can navigate around our radar and our defenses, building submarines that can sneak up on our shores, and worse yet, building space weapons. It is time that we change that equation and start doubling down on the protection of the homeland. Golden Dome is a bold and aggressive approach to hurry up and protect the homeland from our adversaries. We owe it to our children and our children's children to protect them and to afford them a quality of life that we have all grown up enjoying. Golden Dome will afford that. I greatly appreciate your trust in me and your nomination in me and your trust in the team to deliver this. It is a great day for America.
And also, very importantly, it's we're the only ones that have this. We call it super technology. Nobody else has it. And nobody else has really near what we have. So this is a very exciting project. This is something that will, when the general said,
I knew it. I knew it. I knew I recognized that guy who was just talking. I knew I recognized this dude. I knew it. I'll go back after. You know who this guy is? Do you guys have any idea who this badass is? Oh, goodness. You have no idea who this guy is. Oh, let me play this for you. This has to be him. It's him. The nose is the same. This is him. Oh, you don't know about this dude? You don't know about this speech, boy? Oh, it's going to give you goosebumps. It's going to make you want to go handle your Second Amendment.
In our every move, Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, they may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters. We fight so our children never have to. We fight for one day when our children and our enemies' children can discuss their differences without fear or loathing. We fight so that anyone out there thinking about raising arms against our citizens or allies realize the futility of attrition against a disciplined, professional, and lethal force built to withstand anything you can dream of throwing at us. Americans want this kind of country. Americans want this kind of world. And we stand ready to defend it, to protect us. So help us God. May God bless this beautiful army. May God bless our Marine Corps, our Navy, our Air Force, and Coast Guard. May God bless our allies. And we already know that God blessed America. Thank you very much.
Oh, I knew it was him. Oh my gosh, that's him. That is him. I know it. I know he looks a little darker there. He probably tanned or something. I'm telling you, that's the dude. I'm telling you, that is the same guy.
Building submarines that can sneak up on our shores, and worse yet.
Oh my goodness. I promise.
We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
God damn. Whew. Whew. Of course Pete Hegseth has this guy raring to go. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I swear that's the same guy. I swear to. I can tell by the voice. It's the same dude. I love that speech. It's a lethal machine that you would do well to avoid. Oh man. Anyway, let's get back to it. My bad.
Space weapons. It is time that we change that equation and start doubling down on the protection of the homeland. Golden Dome is a bold and aggressive approach to hurry up and protect the homeland from our adversaries. We owe it to our children and our children's children to protect them and to afford them a quality of life that we have all grown up enjoying. Golden Dome will afford that. I greatly appreciate your trust in me and your nomination in me and your trust in the team to deliver this. It is a great day for America.
And also, very importantly,
he's like, and just the last thing, sir, if anybody wants a problem with America, someone else will raise their children, and their children will be terribly, terribly traumatized. And it will leak into generations and generations afterwards. They will be traumatized, not even understanding why. They will have generational trauma. Do you understand me, Mr. President? Donald Trump's just like, you're very, very intense. I don't know what's making you so intense with the war and the traumatizing of people's children. I just want the dome. That's all. I just want the dome. That's it. Just make sure it's gold. That's it. And just credit me. Is that too much? I'm just saying we are a lethal force. Okay. All right. I understand. Pete, where did you get this guy? Who is this guy? This guy's a crazy guy.
we're the only ones that have this. We call it super technology. Nobody else has it. And nobody else has really near what we have. So this is a very exciting project. This is something that will, the general said close to 100% protection, so that's something we need. I think it's a very, and everything's going to be made in the USA, by the way, very importantly. So it's something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. And I just noticed you too, Jim, you're standing there, and behind you is a very important document, Declaration of Independence. And that was in the vault for many decades right under this area. They have vaults with pictures on top. You have Abraham Lincoln. You see that was the original Abraham Lincoln, the original Washington. And does everybody know who the middle was? General Grant. And so it's very exciting. You look over here, and above Ronald Reagan, you have Thomas Jefferson. That's Monroe from the Monroe document. And you know who that is, right? Andrew Jackson. So we have a lot of very exciting pictures, and on the other side, likewise, some great presidents and great people. And many of these, because people were asking about them, many of them, almost all of them, were in the vaults or nearby, but generally in the vaults downstairs, where we have some great. So it's very exciting. The place has become a little different than you first saw it, Jim, right?
Yes, much better.
It's a little bit different. It's slightly better. But to think we had them, and some were in the vaults for over 100 years. So it's pretty cool stuff. Everybody knows Jim Banks. He's a great congressman, and now he's a great senator from Indiana. And you might want to say a few words, Jim.
Well, your legacy with Space Force, Mr. President, is already big, but the Golden Dome is going to be an even bigger legacy for our country, and Indiana is going to help you make it.
Right.
The space satellites that are made in Fort Wayne, Indiana by L3 Harris, all the work done at Crane Navy Base in southern Indiana is going to be a big part of it, and Hoosiers are very proud of that. We're proud of you. Thank you very much.
It's going to be a big factor. Thank you, and good luck, and congratulations. You won that race by a lot. That wasn't even a contest, right?
Well, thank you. Thanks to you and all of your support.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Please go ahead. You missed that. This is Senator Kramer, and he's one of our best. Can't get any better. Go ahead.
Well, you're very nice, Mr. President, and thanks for this. And I remember the day in your first term when you called, and I was a brand new baby freshman senator on the Armed Services Committee, and you said, I want to have a Space Force. Would you lead the effort on the Senate Armed Services Committee? And I felt so proud thinking that you chose me, only to find out later no one else would do it. But nonetheless, it worked out really well because North Dakota has some great space assets, and that contribute to that and to Golden Dome. No surprise that you would be the president that would come along and put the homeland first. And this is just one more example of that. So thanks for this and for allowing me this opportunity. And by the way, let me just add my strong endorsement of General Goodline's role in leading this. I don't know anybody better, for sure, better equipped to do it than he is.
Everybody said that. Yeah, that's for sure. Dan Sullivan, Alaska Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for your continued leadership on missile defense. We were talking earlier how in 2019 at the Pentagon, you laid out a speech about the Missile Defense Review that had all these principles on missile defense you articulated then during your first term, and now the Golden Dome is all of that. So you're continuing to lead. We really appreciate it. The Congress is stepping up, as you mentioned right now in the budget reconciliation bill, $25 billion for the Golden Dome. In what Senator Kramer and Senator Banks and I and many others, we're working on I briefed you on this before, sir, on our Golden Dome Act, which we think will have, in terms of legislation that can help cement what you're doing right here, getting the Congress behind it, not just with the funding, but with authorizations. So we're working closely with Secretary Hegseth, General Gutlein, the whole team. So we're very honored to be here, sir. And Alaska is the cornerstone of missile defense right now in terms of ground-based missile interceptors, in terms of radar systems and track incoming missiles. So my state is honored to continue to play a critical role in all of this and build on it. And we're really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Great. Any questions?
Yeah, Mr. President, you had mentioned at the beginning of your remarks that this was a campaign promise of yours. Have military commanders asked for this system specifically? Because NORAD had said previously that the current system was adequate. So what does this get the United States
Somebody said the
isn't
current
already
system is adequate.
before?
There really is no current system. We have certain areas of missiles and certain missile defense, but there's no system. We just have some very capable weapons that hopefully we never have to use, but we have some very capable weapons. Now, this is a different league. There's never been anything like this. This is something that's going to be very protective. I think you can rest assured there'll be nothing like this. Nobody else is capable of building it either.
Was it something that military commanders asked you for? Did they ask you to do this?
Well, let me put it differently. I suggested it, and they all said, "We love the idea, sir." It's the way it's got to be, right? But they want it, and they wanted it badly once it was suggested. I don't know if they ever thought they would be lucky enough to have it, but we were able to get it done, and we have all the funding, so pretty much tucked away. I think most people feel it's very important to have. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, why wouldn't they want this? Why wouldn't they? I mean, this makes it so you don't have to worry about missiles coming. I mean, you say don't have to worry, but makes it so you don't have to really. I'll just say it. It makes it so you don't have to worry about missiles coming in. And again, to what you said about the dome or about the nukes, I don't know about that, but we've seen how Israel's. I know I literally have friends in Israel, and sometimes when there's crazy stuff popping off, they will show me video. Even if I'm not exactly friends with them and they're like on my personal Facebook, I'll see these videos of just It's crazy. So of course America should have that. What? How is that even a question? Like, forget about, oh, we have some things that are adequate and blah, blah, blah. What? No, you want that exact thing that Israel has, but 100 times better. Obviously. Come on. Like, did they ask for this? It's so weird how these reporters keep trying to spin their questions. It's so odd to me that they keep doing it.
First announced this idea, critics said it would be prohibitively expensive, potentially ineffective, and could trigger an arms race in space. What do you say to those critics about that?
Well, they're wrong. It's about as close to perfect as you can have in terms of real production. I told you Canada wants to be a part of it, which be, fairly small expansion. But we'll work with them on pricing. We'll be dealing with them on pricing. They know about it very much. They've asked to be a part of it, actually. They've asked us to be a part of it. I think it's something that is great. If you can afford to do it, we can afford to do it. We took in $5.1 trillion in the last 4 days in the Middle East. And when you think about it, this is a tiny fraction of that. But we make it all here. We're going to make it all here. We have, I will tell you, an adversary told me, a very big adversary told me the most brilliant people in the world are Silicon Valley. He said, we cannot duplicate him. We can't. This was somebody that I won't tell you who it is, but you'd be amazed. We have the most brilliant minds in the world doing this kind of thing, the equipment, the space, the computers, everything. But I said that we just can't duplicate what you have there in Silicon Valley. We never have been able to. And this is a very strong group of people and very strong minds, but they can't. So we have things that nobody else can have. You see what we've done helping Israel with that. You probably wouldn't have in Israel. They launched probably 500 missiles altogether, and I think 1/2 of a missile got through, and that was only falling to the ground as scrap metal. It's pretty amazing, and this is in terms of technology far advanced from that system.
And just one follow-up on the adversaries. Have you addressed Russia's ventures in space with a space?
Do you hear that little thing he just said? You wouldn't even have in Israel if we didn't help them build the Iron Dome. It's true. How many missiles have come at that place? That's why it's so essential. Look at how many missiles have come at them, and they're fine. 1/2 of, like you said, one got through. And I think it actually got through. I don't think it was just scrap metal falling, to be exact. I think it actually got through. I don't think it took anybody out, but it hit something. And that's it, out of 500. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If the U.S. can make something that's actually way better and it protects Canada, which protects them from being taken over at any time, which protects the northern border of America, all the better,
Base nuclear weapon and told Putin to stop in your conversations with him?
We haven't discussed it, but at the right time we will. Yeah.
Mr. President, with the goal of keeping Americans safe with this, can you talk about the timeline? How long will this take to complete?
We think it's going to be about a little bit less than 3 years, and we'll have a big phase-in very early. We're starting immediately with $25 billion. It'll cost about $175 billion completed. But we think in 2.5 to 3 years. Yeah.
Are you confident that you can get the funding needed from Congress quickly?
Yeah. It's amazing how easy this one is to fund. Some funding is tough and some is easy. When we say we're going to save everyone's lives in a crazy world, it seems to be very easy to get. Yeah, we've already spoken to everybody we have to speak to. Everybody's in, I would say, Dan, everybody's in line here. Right?
Yes, sir. $25 billion is a down payment in the budget reconciliation bill right now.
Yeah, so I think people actually love it.
Mr. President, on Russia, are you worried about the reports on a military buildup along the borders towards Finland and Norway?
No, I don't worry about that at all. They're going to be very safe. Those are two countries that are going to be very safe.
And the secondly, sir, if I may, Volodymyr Zelensky is saying today that he's hoping for you to impose new sanctions on Russia. Are you considering that?
Well, that's going to be my determination. That's going to be nobody else's determination. We'll see how Russia behaves. We see what's going to happen. We have a pretty critical time right now. I had a talk yesterday for 2.5 hours with President Putin, as you know. I also spoke to all of the European, or to many of them, leaders, but they were representing the whole. And I think we had very good conversations yesterday. Please.
Thanks, Mr. President. What companies have asked to be involved in building this system, and have you decided on who will be building it?
Yeah, I think I'll let you answer that. You can mention some of yours from Alaska's involved, and Alaska's a big part of it because locationally they're sort of perfect. I think that's your first line of defense in certain instances, and Kevin will tell you that his state's involved. But honestly, Georgia's going to be very big. Florida's going to be very big. They're all going to be very big. Jim, do you want to talk about Indiana?
Yeah, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I live, we make all the space satellites at L3 Harris. Across the board, we're the top manufacturing state in the country. By the way, the tariffs have been very good for auto manufacturing in Indiana.
So good.
But this is going to be really good for the defense industry in my state. And there's so much money involved here. There are going to be a lot of American companies involved in making the Golden Dome
You
possible.
might also say, you're talking about the tariffs, he has some of the biggest auto plants in the world moving into Indiana, only for one reason, maybe two reasons, November 5th and the tariffs, okay?
Yes, sir.
But the tariffs have driven tremendous business into this country. But you have one of the biggest in the world being built.
The Honda Civics,
Right.
the new Honda Civic made in Indiana. GM has added jobs. Eli Lilly moving pharmaceutical manufacturing from China to the United States, $27 billion. You go on and on with good news in Indiana and across the country because of the tariffs.
Our country was cold as ice a year ago, and now we have the hottest country in the world. This is the hottest country in the world, nobody even close. If you look at even this last trip that I made, the respect.
There's not a country hotter than our country. If our country was a lady, okay, and I'm not trying to be rude, but she would have a Coke bottle figure, okay? She'd have nice legs, nice blonde hair, okay? No blue, no green, none of that nonsense. She'd have nice blonde hair, okay? And the parts, you know what I mean, guys? The parts would be sensational, okay? I'm just saying, we have a hot country, okay? I mean, we could put this country online and guys would be clicking, click, 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 click. So dumb. He's right, though. He's 100% right. I got to move on. We got to moving on, ladies and gentlemen.